want to talk about today, our marriages are not for sale. And I think we're kind of living in a culture today where marriage is just not held in honor. It's not held in esteem. And we need to understand a biblical value based on marriage. Marriage was meant to be a covenant. Marriage is meant to be a covenant. Let me say it a different way. Marriage was not intended to be a contract. So it's not about what you get. It's about what you're going to give in marriage. A covenant marriage, godly marriage, can only be between a man and a woman. Marriage is not a government institution. The government does not have the right to tell Christians what marriage is. God has told us what marriage is between one man and one woman. Here's the second one about a covenant marriage, and that is love is not a feeling. It's a choice. The choice is to choose every day to love my wife regardless of how I feel. There's two decisions that every marriage must make. You must make this. Number one, a decision to never turn your mind from your spouse. And then the second one is a decision to not let your heart turn from your spouse. I want you to notice those two words. God says, I won't desert you and I won't forsake you. And what he's trying to say is this is the pattern for marriage. That he says, I won't desert you, I won't forsake you. This is the pattern for marriage. It's in the same paragraph, people. Are y'all with me on this? Meaning, when God says, I won't desert you, we should say as husbands, I won't desert you. And when God says, I'll never forsake you, we should say as husbands, I'll never forsake you. And listen, wives, same thing. Let me give you those two Greek words because I think this is very important. So the first word, I will never desert you, is in kata lepo, which means to leave or to forsake. It also means to leave to exist. The second word in the Greek is the word for never, nor will I forsake you. Forsake is the word anami, which means to loosen, means to abandon, means to forsake, it means to give up on. Okay, listen, Jesus says, I'll never give up on you. And we ought to be saying the same thing in our marriages. I'll never give up on you. So a covenant is this. I permanently am committed regardless of what changes. Here's the last point I really want to make. The goal of this covenant is this. I choose to meet my spouse's needs regardless of whether I get my needs met. Let me give you men's needs and women's needs, all right? Because a lot of people don't know this, and I've used this list for years now. Here's men's needs, all right? So men have 4 basic needs. I would say this list holds true for like 85, maybe 90% of men, all right? So number one, man's number one need is honor and respect. In fact, we call this the mega need. Their number 2 need, and a lot of men think that this is their number 1, but when they really start sitting down talking about it, they find out it really isn't. Number 2 need that a man has is sex. Friendship, number 3 need, and I'm telling you this is a huge one, but it's still number 3, friendship. And number 4, domestic support. Women's needs. Let me give you 4 needs that women have. Security. Number one, women need security. Number 2, open, honest communication. Number 3, non-sexual touching and affection. Here's the 4th one, leadership. Let me make a couple of statements and we'll close. A woman needs security. A woman feels secure when they have a selfless, sacrificial husband. Women feel insecure when they have a selfish, detached husband. A man needs, number 1 mega need, a man needs respect. And here's what a man wants to know. Ladies, you ought to hear me about this. A man is always thinking, even if they don't know the words to put with it, because we don't have a lot of words, but they always want to know, do you think I'm a good man? Do you see the good in me? A man wants to know that. Do you think I'm a good man? Do you see the good in me? A selfish husband and a dishonoring wife will wound each other. Always. Let's not be that.